When babies are hungry, they cry. When toddlers are hungry, they get cranky and whine. But from 3 years old up, they forage. They open the cabinets, they open the refrigerator, and they help themselves. But when there's nothing there, and it's chronic, they go silent. And that's why childhood hunger is nearly an invisible problem. There are signs, and astute teachers and nurses recognize those signs. Fatigue, chronic stomach aches and headaches, behavioral problems, absences, especially on Fridays and Mondays, and a failure to complete schoolwork are all symptoms of childhood hunger. I am your last speaker before lunch. So while you're out there and enjoying your lovely meal, I ask you to spend a moment thinking about what it would be like for you if this food you're eating for lunch today was the last food you got to eat until Monday morning breakfast. And then imagine you're 6 years old. Let me walk you through that 68 hours for that 6-year-old. You come home from school on Friday afternoon and you're already hungry. And you look in the refrigerator and you look in the cupboard and there's nothing there. So you drink a lot of water because that's a trick you learned that would let you make those hunger pains go away for a while. But by Friday evening, the hunger pains are back. The water isn't working anymore. You now have a headache and you're feeling sad and angry. By Saturday evening, the hunger pains have gone away, the headache's worse, and your brain feels fuzzy, and you just can't think. And by Sunday evening, you can't even focus on what's on the television. Monday morning, you rush into school to the cafeteria to get that free breakfast, and you eat it all. And then you turn to your friends and you say to them, are you going to eat that apple? Are you going to eat that bread? And if they say no, you say, can I have it to take home to my pet? And it isn't until after lunch that you have anything to give to learning. And this repeats weekend after weekend after weekend. This weekend, 14 million American children, 43,000 in the state of New Hampshire, will go without food for 68 hours. And this is a problem we can fix. Let me tell you about some of those children. Noah, who's 6, begged his teacher to let him stay in the classroom over the weekend. He promised he'd be good. And when his teacher pressed him for more information, Noah said, I know where the snacks are. Kendra, a middle school student, comes to school every Monday and she's fidgety. And she disrupts the students around her. And when confronted, she says she has a stomach ache and she goes to the nurse. And the nurse dutifully takes her temperature, gives her a snack, sends her back to the classroom where she puts her head down until lunch. Jake almost never finishes his homework or turns any schoolwork in. And when questioned, he says he just can't focus on what he needs to do. These children are at a significant disadvantage. Research tells us that children who eat regularly, 3 meals a day, what we would consider to be normal, get 30% higher math scores and 40% higher reading scores than those children who miss meals. We also know that those children who eat regularly are 3 times as likely to successfully complete the 3rd grade. And successful completion of the 3rd grade is one of the primary indicators of high school graduation. So what happens to those students who don't successfully complete the 3rd grade? The number of students who don't successfully complete the 3rd grade is one of the calculations that goes into determining how many prison beds we will need in 20 years. So, some people think that the parents must be doing something wrong. But we know that in 85% of food insecure households, at least one person is working full-time outside the home. But when it comes to making that practical decision between paying rent and buying food, everyone knows that you have to choose to keep that roof over your head. So the parents aren't doing anything wrong. They're doing the best we can. So my name is Claire Bloom. I'm the founder and the volunteer executive director of End 68 Hours of Hunger. Together with over 2,000 volunteers, we pack bags of non-perishable food which we deliver to the schools. And then we ask the schools to give those bags to those students most at risk to take home on the weekend so they have something to eat over the weekend. I am on this stage today to ask you all to do 3 things. First of all, as soon as you're able, please reach out to the school nearest you and ask the school nurse how many students they have in that school who could benefit from having that bag of food to take home on Friday so they have something to eat over the weekend. Number 2, then with that information, get together with your local friends and with your neighbors and go out and buy snacks and put them in bags and give them to the school so the school can give them to those children most in need. And third, and this is most important, tell everybody you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And the reason why this is so important is because you might live in a community where children are already being served, but your friend might not. Do it for Noah, who from the minute he got his first bag of food, hugged it to his chest tightly, and then ran back to the classroom, ripped it open, and showed everybody what he got. Do it for Kendra, who from the time she started getting weekend food, came to school alert, focused, and ready to learn. And do it for Jake, whose homework started coming in, he was performing well, and he expressed pride at being able to help his family by bringing home a little extra food on the weekend. Do it for that 3rd grader who might otherwise be the one who winds up in prison in 20 years. Do it to strengthen your community. Do it to strengthen our nation. Simple, 1, 2, 3. Reach out, work together, and tell everyone you know. One of our biggest problems as a nation is the wasted resource of children who can't learn because they're hungry. This is a problem we can fix. The government isn't going to do anything about this, but we can. Together, we can end childhood hunger in America, one school at a time. We can do this. This is a problem we can fix. Thank you.